Keep spinning around.
We have the worst cameraman.
You look lovely.
Trying to follow her.
The camera work is shoddy.
It's so fast.
It's not your
The
fault.
question goes to you first, sir. 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Good luck.
Good luck.
200,000 dead.
Uninterrupted.
As you said, over 7 million infected in the United States. We, in fact, have 5%, 4% of the world's population, 20% of the deaths. 40,000 people a day.
A huge portion of that's going to be attributed directly to New York, New Jersey, and by the way, Michigan. Michigan had the worst COVID nursing home policy. And there's some information that you may not have, which we'll go over at the state capitol in Lansing on October 2nd, noon. That's going to be a big one. So Michigan is possibly one of the worst states. But if you eliminate the nursing home policies, really you eliminate a huge portion, a majority of the deaths.
So much better.
He knew it was a deadly disease. What did he do?
Ban travel, which you call xenophobic.
Yeah.
You demented old circus monkey.
He didn't tell us or give people a warning of it because he didn't want to panic.
All right, I got to go through this timeline again with the COVID. Okay, let me make sure I get this right, just so I don't forget it, because I don't want to be fact-checked.
We were insisting that the Chinese...
You guys can keep it up there until I get through the timeline.
Should be able to go to Wuhan and determine for themselves how dangerous this was. He did not even ask Xi to do that. He told us what a great job Xi was doing. He said we owe him a debt of gratitude for being so transparent with us. And what did he do then?
As late as March, your buddies, de Blasio and Nancy Pelosi, were telling people to go eat dumplings in Chinatown and go to movie theaters. I have this right here, March 2nd, long after he banned travel from China.
Yeah, and we knew a lot more on March 2nd than we did.
And declared it a national emergency.
Yeah, lay out a plan. None of them have.
If we would have listened to you, the country would have been left wide open. Millions of people would have died, not 200,000, and one person is too much. It's China's fault. It should have never happened.
China.
They stopped it from going in, but it was China's fault. And by the way, when you talk about numbers, you don't know how many people died in China. You don't know how many people died in Russia. You don't know how many people died in India.
I'm going to be a coronavirus death if he keeps saying China.
But if you look at what we've done, I closed it, and you said he's xenophobic. He's a racist, and he's xenophobic because you didn't think I should have closed our country. Wait a minute.
It's his 2 minutes.
You didn't think we should have closed our country because you thought it was terrible. You wouldn't have closed it for another 2 months. By my doing it early, in fact, Dr. Fauci said, President Trump saved thousands of lives. Many of you Democrat governors said, President Trump did a phenomenal job. We worked with the
Gavin
governor.
Newsom, and even back then Cuomo said it would be hard to imagine a president doing more than Donald Trump has in states with COVID.
In fact, people that would not be necessarily on my side said that. President Trump did a phenomenal job. We did. We got the gowns. We got the masks. We made the ventilators. You wouldn't have made ventilators. And now we're weeks away from a vaccine. We're doing therapeutics
also, keep in mind, they had to replenish the federal stockpile that was depleted by the Obama administration.
Who was in the Obama?
They walked in, and the only thing left was a crumb too small for a mouse.
What you say to them, they give you bad
But
press.
it was a
It's just
giant
fake
storage
news.
unit, though.
They
You can do a
give
lot
you
with
good
that.
press. They give you bad
small
press
press,
because that's the way it is, unfortunately. But let me just tell you something. I don't care. I've gotten used to it. But I'll tell you, Joe, you could never have done the job.
Why do I feel
that
like
we
Joe
did.
Biden is
You don't
looking
have
out
it
in the
your
back
blood.
to
You
get
could have
like
never done that
baseball
job.
signs?
I just want to look him in the
Yeah,
eye.
there's the coaches back there.
I know how to get the job
Well, you didn't do
done.
very well in swine flu. H1N1, you were a disaster. Your own chief of staff said you were a disaster.
14,000 people died, not 200,000. There was no economic recession.
Sir, you made a
There
was no recession.
You made a point. Let him answer.
And there was no one. We didn't shut down the economy. This is his economy.
What?
This is
What?
he shut down.
Your party
reason
did
it
shut down the
is
economy.
because
It is the blue states that have been shut down. By the way, unemployment in New York is up as high as 40%. We have that as an overlay. You know, we'll have all of this available on the website afterwards, but all of this can be confirmed. The states that have had the most severe lockdowns have had the worst virus spread. Okay, there is no real there's no correlation between lockdowns working. And I don't want to claim the opposite. If you don't have a lockdown, it works. But certainly if you look at Texas and Florida, it's a third that of states like New York. It's less than half that of states like Michigan. And then if you look at the unemployment, it's double, triple, quadruple in the blue states. They have higher deaths, they have higher mortality, and they have higher unemployment. When he says we didn't shut down the economy, you tried to shut it down now. I get it with swine flu because swine flu wasn't nearly as deadly, but we can't let that go unchecked. Okay, we got to go back to
Johnson.
Dr. Slawi, the head of your Operation Warp Speed, has said exactly the same thing. Are they both wrong?
Well, I've spoken to the companies, and we can have it a lot sooner. It's a very political political thing because people like this would rather make it political than save lives. It is a very political thing. I've spoken to
Who
Pfizer.
was it? Can we have
I've
Resident
spoken
Bennett
to
tell me who
all
was it who
of
said
the
they wouldn't
people that
trust
you
the
have to speak
vaccine
to. We
before
have
the
great
election?
Moderna, Johnson & Johnson.
Was it Biden or was it Newsom?
They can go faster
there were a
than
few
that
people
by
who
a
said that,
lot.
right?
Yeah, a couple folks.
Become
There were a
very
couple people who said they
political
wouldn't trust the
because
vaccine
the left, or I
solely
don't know if
because
the
it would
left
happen
or
before the
the
election. It might have been Kamala Harris, Newsom, or Joe Biden.
Except the
disagree
drug
with
companies
him.
came out and
No,
said,
I
we
disagree
will
with
likely
both
have
of them.
something in
And he didn't say
October.
that. He said it
Maybe
could
not
be there, but it
widely
could also
available.
be much sooner.
Well, you're
I had
supposed
him
to
in my
trust Big
office
Pharma when they
We
say
talked
that we should
about
shut down the
before it's
economy, but
generally
not trust them when it actually
Like I said, it's a
happens to be in their
possibility
wheelhouse
that
and
will
developing drugs.
The answer before.
That's
When it
it.
comes to the
November
economy,
1st.
trust the
It could also
pharmacists.
be
When it comes to
everything.
pharmacology,
Well,
trust
we're
Joe
gonna
Biden.
deliver it right away. We have the military all set up logistically. They're all set up.
Every serious company is talking about maybe having a vaccine done by the end of the year, but the distribution
October.
of that vaccine
No, that's not true.
will not
That is
occur
not
until
true. There are
sometime
several
beginning or
companies that have
middle of
talked
next
about having
year.
a
Get it
vaccine
out.
done by
If
October,
we
or
get
at
the
least an
vaccine.
answer by
And
October.
pray
Third phase
God
There are
it
several that have said third phase trial will be done by October, which means they can give an answer to the American public.
Right.
These people don't want an answer before October.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, if a new
Pfizer
drug comes,
CEO.
Pfizer CEO, if a new drug comes on the market, right, and it's approved, it's made it through phase 3 trials where there's basically just some paperwork to be done and red tape to cut through, which, by the way, is what Operation Warp Speed cuts. They make that announcement. Hey, we have a new autoimmune drug that works. Hey, we have a new cancer treatment that they always keep people updated of that of the clinical trial data.
And the biggest criticism is, well, it's not going to be distributed. Well, of course, that's just the way that it works. We're talking about, is there a path to an exit out of the Corona era? And there is. That's when you get the vaccine solved, and then you still have to go through the hurdles of distribution.
Well, they said they wouldn't
but
take a
that's
vaccine
not
if
the
it came
problem.
out, and now they're saying we don't even want an answer before then.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Well,
true.
So it's like, why don't you want the information before election? Oh, I think I know why, Mr. 9% unemployment.
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.